2 more people have been confirmed dead after, well, we had been hearing that a 3-story building collapsed at cantonment here in Accra, and this increases the death toll to 3. 19 survivors were rescued from the rubble. Lord Iduasari has more.
The rescue operation was carried out by military personnel, officials of the National Disaster Management Organization, as well as the Ghana National Fire Service. 4 excavators were used in the 48-hour-long exercise. Acting National Coordinator for NADMO, Brigadier General Francis Vibzanziri, disclosed that 12 of the survivors have been treated and discharged.
Out of the 20, 12 have been treated and discharged. 7 are still on admission, 3 in police hospital, 4 at the military hospital.
Some workers who were at the site indicated that they suspected the collapse to be as a result of cracks they discovered in one of the pillars in the building. However, Brigadier General Francis Vibzanziri says the investigations are underway.
The Aluku Primary School in the Elembele district of the Western region is on the verge of collapse, and the situation is that bad that both teachers and pupils fear their lives are in danger.
A visit to the school revealed that the building served as a market, but the need to educate children in the poor farming communities led residents to convert it into a school. Several years on, the dream to educate children is gradually fading as school activities come to a standstill anytime it rains. The dire situation is compounded by the lack of tables and chairs, toilet facilities and teaching materials. The Aluku Primary School does not have enough teachers' quarters, with the existing one in the west of states. The lack of tables and chairs is visible here, as only 10 out of 40 pupils in Primary 2 have to use them, meaning 4 children will have to share a desk. Those who could not manage have to either sit or lie on the floor to take lessons. The results: tattered uniforms. Work on the new classroom block has stalled, prompting the assistant headmaster of the school, Abdullahi Mohammed, to call on the district assembly for immediate intervention.
Yeah, coming down to our location of our school, sometimes it's very marvelous. Yeah, you can see the structure here. It was 1980 something structure for our forefathers who came around here for powder, Kawarin. They did all this thing for us. And from that time, we have no any structure to help. Whenever there's rain, you cannot stay in the class, as you can see it. So if this structure is able to complete within first term, sometimes it will be very nicely for us. Like coming to our education background, library, these things, you get them. And when there's a rain falling, you can stay inside, camping the children nicely for any damage to be out. But as at now, you can see around here, look at our quarters too. It is not, you see, you cannot even, as a teacher, being on the training carriage, coming down here and staying for this structure. It's not good. So we are pleading the government to come up nicely and help us from first term going. We are pleading that first term we should be able to complete the structure so that you can go inside and educate the children so that they can achieve very good aim for future.
In the Volta region, pupils of Afiadanyigba DAGHS in the Akachi district or the Akachi North district of the region are studying under trees after a rainstorm destroyed their school building some 2 weeks ago. And the pupils were writing their end of term examinations when Joy News Volta regional correspondent Fred Kwame Asare visited the school.
The rainstorm ripped off the roofing of a 4-unit classroom structure, which also houses the headmaster's office. Teaching and learning materials, including pupils' registers, textbooks, and other important school records stored in the office, were destroyed. Several trees were also uprooted on the campus, but fortunately, no casualty was recorded since the disaster occurred after school hours. Academic activities were brought to a halt due to the disaster. According to the pupils, the situation has also affected their preparations towards their examinations. The headmaster is currently making use of a section of a residential apartment where he carries out his official duties.
Everything went upside down, and we were all in imbalance. So quickly the DC, the other stakeholders came to the scene, and they were trying to solve the problem somehow by way of getting us some places to be having classes. He also pledged his support by providing us chalk and other teaching materials to keep us going, to enable us finish the term. So far, these are the things that he has been doing.
The Ave Efiedenyingba RC Primary School also had the roofing of its 3-unit classroom block ripped off by the rainstorm. The pupils are currently improvising in an uncompleted structure. The district assembly and some residents have provided the school with chalks and other teaching and learning materials.
Well, we have to turn our attention to agriculture, where some cocoa farmers in the Ashanti region, they've begun cutting down diseased trees for lack of chemical supply to spray their farms. And the development comes in the wake of widespread reports of diversion and stealing of some chemicals meant for mass cocoa spraying. Well, 500-member Joint Cocoa Farmers Association in the Ahafo South and the Echimangwe South district are warning of massive destruction if government does not act timely to save the industry. The farmers' concern confirms an investigative report by Lava Firm on how even security personnel aid illegal sale of cocoa imports.
These deprived farmers, angry and frustrated, have journeyed several miles from villages in and around Ekwapim and the Janso communities. Upon hearing media personnel were on a visit to speak with them, they showed us cocoa trees, blackened and prematurely ripened pods due to pest invasion. Some of them have been cutting down affected trees to stop the spread of the disease. They say chemicals meant for the free mass cocoa spraying program do not reach them or reach them in limited quantities with no spraying machines to apply them.
We want to express our gratitude to the President. He has done a lot for farming, including increasing cocoa prices. However, only few of the chemical for spraying cocoa gets to us here. We are about 500 cocoa farmers in this community. All the time, we have 6 farmers sharing a small bottle. This is really affecting farming in the community.
A recent investigative report by Lava FM highlighted connivance of security personnel with alleged criminals to steal these chemicals. Nothing appears to have been done following the revelation, and the farmers are calling for immediate action from the President.
We are pleading with the government to do all it can to help us. This is because if the cocoa is not sprayed, it will lead to low yield, or it may even die. When this happens, the country loses a lot. We therefore plead with the government to come to our aid.
We'll have to turn our attention to the court where the chairman of the Justice for Our program, Justice Clemens Honyeluga, is pushing for the decentralization of forensic laboratories across the country. Though critical for the testing of suspected narcotic substances, there are only 2 of such laboratories, both domiciled in the capital, Accra. Justice Honyeluga says this does not only make their work difficult, but also delays expeditious trial of cases. The appeals court judge was speaking to the media after the justice of the program heard cases at the Ankafo Annex prisons.
A lot of these cases which have not been dealt with because the report on the substances which were sent to the National Standards Authority the reports have still not been ready. Others were sent to the police forensic laboratory. The reports have not been received, and they have all been pending for quite some time now. And that has necessitated the accused persons to continue to remain in custody. So I was suggesting that if these matters these institutions could be decentralized, so that in the regions, at least in every regional capital, we could have a forensic laboratory, so that these cases can be dealt with as expeditiously as possible, so that the reports can be received on time, and then the trials can go on as early as possible.
Meanwhile, 47 cases were heard during Friday's sittings, and 6 remand prisoners were convicted. 14 granted bail, 6 discharged unconditionally, and 15 had their bail applications refused. High Court Judge Justice Constance Homotu is happy the many interventions the Chief Justice has introduced after the Locked and Forgotten documentary are yielding results. He's particularly happy judges are now offering lesser sentences.
Workshop that we organize for the judges and magistrates throughout has positively impacted on remand administration in this country. I can tell you sincerely that some of the prisons that we visited and revisited, the remand population has reduced. And you'd also notice that you read in the papers, you realize that the judges and magistrates are handing down lower sentences than they used to do. So I must say on authority that this Justice for All program, and especially the workshop for the judges and magistrates, is producing a very marvelous result. And what I can foresee is that in the near future, once we continue with this program, the remand population will reduce very drastically. Thanks to the Justice for All program. Thank you.
The chairman for the ruling National Democratic Congress has appealed to all party members to work in unity and focus on the party winning the general elections in 2016. He believes a peaceful atmosphere within the party is key in keeping the memory of the late President Mills alive. He was speaking at the 3rd memorial service organized by the Awasu Central Constituency in memory of the late president.
For us as NDC, we should eschew violence. We should eschew violence. We should strive and do unto others as we wish them do unto us. And I'll say that we have been living in peace. We should continue to live in peace. Violence should not be attractive to us at all. And we must concentrate on living peacefully, not only within our party, but with all other Ghanaians, so that Ghanaians, at the end of the day, in 2016, would repose the trust they have in our party and in our president. Remember, Ghanaians will not give this country to people who are violent, people who are attacking each other, people who are killing each other. That is not our practice, and we should continuously assure Ghanaians in this country that once they vote for us, we will live in peace with them. This is what the late professor has lived and taught us to pursue. And the best we can do to his memory is to continue to strive and live in peace.
Oh, I get a report this morning that, junior doctors, they have this morning picketed they have grouped at the Controller and Accountant General's department, and this is over the unpaid salaries for the past 11 months. This is despite government's promise to pay up the monies in 2 weeks' time. So Kwame Boateng is live on the grounds and is joining us on the line. A very good morning to you, sir. Now, particularly, how many of these doctors can you count are currently gathered at the forecourt of the Controller and Accountant General's Department office?
Good morning, Roland. Presently, about 17 of them are here. I understand they are 91 in number, and they are coming from all over the country, from hospitals across the country, and they are here demanding that their salaries are paid them before they leave here. So some have arrived from Sunyane, from other regions with their things, and they are not ready to leave until they get their money. I have one of them with me here. Good morning. Where are you coming from?
I'm coming from Sunyane.
Sunyane. And what's your name?
Dr. Elijah Kwansan.
Okay. And you have come here with bags for your money?
Oh, yes, of course. I have my belongings that if there's a need to sleep here, I'll sleep here, so I get my money. Yeah.
But you know, government can't readily make available 11 months salary to you. So what are you going to do?
It's possible. It's possible. They can make it available.
And why here at the Controller and Accountants General Department?
So they are responsible for the payment of our salaries. Yeah. So if there are any problems, they should notice it first and rectify whoever is supposed to correct those things.
But you are directly under the Health Ministry, so why not that ministry here, rather this place?
Of course, we will send delegation to the Ministry of Health as well, but mainly we occupy the Controller and Accountants General Department.
Until you get your money?
Yes, please, yes.
Okay, thank you. So, Roland, you heard one of them. They are not leaving until they get their money. And, you know, this department is not far from the Health Ministry. So my understanding is that they would also be going there as well and see what happens. And they need results before they move. Roland.
Now, particularly, we know that appearing on the Joy FM program News for over the weekend, the finance minister particularly said that in 2 weeks' time they would be paid. Why do you think that there's that very much mistrust between the junior doctors as well as whatever?
Let me put that question to him. He's here with me. Over the weekend, the finance minister promised that in 2 weeks the government would pay your salaries. So why are you not sure about what he said?
Oh, okay. That was more verbal thing. You have not received any official document. If he had brought maybe something more formal that he would sign, we also sign, they will know that on this set date you are going to get the money. Then we can go home and then wait till that particular day they will get our money. But now say 2 weeks, and in fact this is not the first time we have heard of a particular week. We have heard of 3 days, we have even heard of Friday, and nothing came. So how sure are we that the 2 weeks is going to be feasible and they are going to pay us? Yeah.
Thank you. So Roland, as I speak, more of them are arriving. Some have come with ambulance. Some also coming with buses, and they are coming in their numbers. They need their monies before they leave here, Roland.
97 medical doctors, you say?
Thank you.
Okay, it will be very interesting. And we'll get the latest updates on that on the hour from our correspondent, Kwame Boateng, currently, who is with the junior medical doctors who currently, well, they've gathered to picket at the frontage of the Controller and Accountant General's Department here at the Ministry's area in Accra. So we'll bring you a lot more as far as that is concerned. But well, we have to turn a lot more attention, not only about the bad news, because this one is good. Well, breaking new grounds, and that was a message to managers and staff of the Multimedia Group Limited, mother company of this very network, Joy News, as the company marks its 20th anniversary. The occasion was a special church service to commemorate the company's 2 decades in existence, which started way back in 1995 with the establishment of the first of a number of multimedia broadcasting stations, Joy FM, which is located on that very dial, 99.7 here in Accra. In his sermon, head pastor of ICGC, Pastor Mensa Otabil, lauded the impact Joy FM and the multimedia group has made on Ghana's media as well as its society.
A huge delegation comprising current staff and former workers of Multimedia Group Limited celebrated today's service with wild jubilation, thanksgiving and dancing in praise as they joined congregants of the Christ Temple. They were led by Chief Executive of the group, Kwesi Chum, who has steered the company since its inception. General Overseer of the International Central Gospel Church, Pastor Mensa Otabil, shared some fond memories of Joy FM.
The first day I recorded my first Living Word broadcast was 18th of May 1995. You say, why do I remember the date? Because that was the date my last born daughter was born. And so, in a sense, Joy is also like my last born. So I hold that station very dear to my heart, and I appreciate them.
Charles Mensa and Ken Addy were employed at Joy FM when the station began operations 20 years ago. They recount their experiences.
They've come a long way, and I was part of the initial stages, and looking at where we were and where they are now, I think we've come a long way. I'm hoping that very soon we'll be an African station selling African to the world, because you've sold Ghana to Africa, you've sold Ghana to the world. Now you're going to sell Africa to the world.
20 years of multimedia, I think we have come far, very, very far. You know, from the humble beginnings. Did you hear what the pastor said in church? He said that looking at the number of people who were here, he was just grateful that the company has been offering jobs to people out there. And he even went on to say he didn't think that the people here today were all the employees of multimedia, which is true. It goes to show how multimedia has grown, and we're happy that the good Lord is with us, and we will keep growing.
So, with the impact the Multimedia Group has made in the media landscape over the last 20 years, what are the prospects going forward? That's the question I posed to some staff members.
Wow, Multimedia's future, I shall stand here. I can say, but all I will say is, let's pray for life. If I do it and I do it well, you will do it and also do it well. May that say.
I see a family that is bringing society together through the power of media and charting the course of God for society. I see a company that is affected, that will continue to affect lives than it has ever done before. I foresee the next 20 years of multimedia, very great.
With the successes chalked within this milestone, there is no doubt the Multimedia Group will continue to be seen as a broadcasting giant, not only in Ghana, but Africa as well.
Positive step, of course, in the right direction. That way, for the news this morning, next we'll bring into you what the summarized stories are, as they've been featured on the front and back pages of the various newspapers, as we have it on the portal myjoyonline.com. Do stay on.